I'd like to ask myself a question since nobody listens. Rick, I gotta get on the field, Grant, for my friend Grant LaFleche out here. This is the poor me and the communist guy around the sidelines. Rick, I like Rick. I think he's done a pretty good job for the community. I loathe his party and his leader. And in 2003, in this very room, Rick came up to me and said, hey, I did a paper on proportional representation. So the question is, do you see any benefit of electoral reform, proportional representation, specifically MMP? And if so, or if not, why not? And what do you see about FT at first past the post that you want to hang on to?
Credit to you, Jim, that this is one issue, proportional representation, that you've brought up time and time again over the last number of elections, and you and your party believe in it. But I have to tell you, we've knocked on doors through the St. Catharines riding, almost finished 3 times through to talk to people and engage them. I haven't received, over the last 10 years, more than 5 or 6 suggestions on proportional representation. It isn't something that the community or individuals are interested. We had a referendum on this a couple of provincial elections ago, and the province of Ontario made a determination that they weren't interested in it.
Don't you think it's unfair, though, that provincially and federally, it doesn't really apply municipally, but provincially and federally, that you can get a majority mandate with no opposition? We all know minority governments have produced better policies for the people, in my opinion, anyways.
Yeah.
How can you justify your government being in government with 38% of the popular support when 60 some odd people voted for other parties? How is that vote representation?
Look, the model that we have, the Westminster model,
designed for 2 parties
that we adopted and
somebody had to have
implemented from England, it works extremely well. When you look at over the past 42 federal elections and 42 parliaments that we've had, 13 of those have been minority governments and the rest have been majority governments. They certainly have worked. Majority governments have been able to implement pretty significant pieces of legislation that may not have been able to pass within a minority government. I've worked under both from 2006 to 2008, 2008 to 2011.
Governments actually produce better policy because you guys.
I had no problem working within a minority government in 2006 to 2011.
It's more accountable, isn't it?
We were able to put legislation on the table that required us to negotiate, required us to work with the other parties, and each and every time we were able to find the support of at least one other party to implement that piece of legislation.
Thank you very much. Mr. Waziruddin.